Humans have always told stories of things in the dark, monsters that stalk the edges of our world. But what if they weren't just stories? What if something real inspired them? Tonight, we descend deeper into stranger, darker, and more terrifying creatures than before. The first creature is the Bogeyman. It isn't one face, one name, or one monster. It's fear itself, the thing that waits in the dark corners of your mind. It knows what you're afraid of and becomes it. Most describe it as a shadow, a spirit slipping between worlds. Others say it's a witch, a demon, or a creature crawling straight out of nightmares. The myth began during the Black Plague. Buggy men collected the dead, thin and ghost-like with hollow eyes and pale faces. Over time, parents used their image to frighten children, warning that the buggy man would come for those who misbehaved. The name Bogeyman first appeared in the 1500s England, tied to stories of hobgoblins, cruel tricksters who fed on fear. Variations exist in nearly every culture. Spain's El Hombre del Saco, the sack-carrying man who steals children. Egypt's Abu Rigal Masluka, the man with the burnt leg, who hunts and cooks the disobedient, and El Coco, the shape-shifting creature that becomes whatever a child fears most. In the modern world, the Bogeyman lives on through figures like Freddy Krueger and Jason Voorhees. Skeptics say the legend was used to keep children safe from real dangers. Wild animals, cliffs, and the dark. Next, the Golem, man's attempt to play God, forged from earth and sacred letters. The next creature is the Golem, a being made from earth, brought to life through sacred words. According to Jewish legend, holy men once shaped golems to protect their people from persecution. The most famous story comes from the 16th century Prague. Rabbi Judah Loew, a scholar and mystic, molded clay from the Vltava River into the shape of a man. Then, through ancient rituals, he spoke the divine name of God. The creature stirred. A word appeared on its forehead. Emet, truth. The golem was alive. Named Yosele, it guarded Prague's Jewish ghetto, stopping riots, defending the weak, and obeying every command. But power has a cost. Each Sabbath, Rabbi Loew would remove the sacred scroll that kept the golem alive. One Friday he forgot. Some say the golem went mad, rampaging through Prague. Others say it fell in love with a human woman and when rejected, lost control. In every version, the ending is the same. The rabbi removes a single letter from Emet, changing it to Met, death. The golem collapses into dust. Legend says its body still lies hidden in the attic of Prague's old new synagogue. When the Nazis occupied the city, one soldier tried to enter and never returned. The attic remains closed to this day. The golem inspired Mary Shelley's Frankenstein and remains a symbol of creation and the danger of playing God. Skeptics say that the golem tale is a German invention, yet the myth endures. Next, the scorpion man, half human, half predator, forged in the deserts of ancient Mesopotamia. Number 3, the Aqrabuamelu, the scorpion man. Half human, half scorpion, towering over mortals with venomous tails that kill with a single strike. In Mesopotamian legend, they stood as guardians at the gates of heaven and the entrance to the underworld. The Epic of Gilgamesh describes them watching over the twin peaks of Mount Mashu, the border between the world of men and the realm of darkness. Their gaze alone could strike fear into gods and mortals alike. Their origin begins with Tiamat, the dragon goddess of chaos. In her fury, she created the scorpion men to avenge her slain mate and wage war against the younger gods. Born from vengeance, they became both protectors and destroyers, symbols of divine wrath and order. Some believe the myth was inspired by Eurypterids, giant prehistoric sea scorpions that once prowled Earth's oceans. Their fossils, found across Mesopotamia and beyond, could easily have sparked visions of monstrous guardians with human forms. Scorpions also carried divine symbolism. In Mesopotamia, the goddess Ashara was linked to love, oaths, and vengeance. In Egypt, Serket, the scorpion goddess, protected the living from venom and guided souls to the afterlife. The image of the scorpion man endures even today, from the Scorpion King in The Mummy Returns to the villain Scorpion in Spider-Man and the monstrous hybrids in Doctor Who and Dark Souls. Next, the Pishtaco, the Andean fat sucker, feared by millions who still believe he walks among them. Number 4, the Pishtaco. The next creature comes from the mountains of the Andes, the Pishtaco. For millions who live there, this being isn't just a myth, it's real. A pale outsider, a non-runa, not human, not local, that stalks the night to drain people of their fat. In Andean belief, fat isn't just flesh, it's life itself, the source of health, strength, and even spiritual power. To lose it is to lose your soul. Legends say the Pishtaco hunts travelers and villagers under the cover of darkness, carving fat from their bodies to sell for magic, medicine, or machinery. The first known accusation came in 1571. A Spanish priest in Cusco, Cristobal de Molina, was accused of being a Pishtaco after locals refused to bring him firewood, afraid he'd kill them to grease church bells with their fat. Centuries later, the stories didn't fade. In 2009, Peruvian police arrested a group accused of murdering dozens in Huánuco and melting their fat into bottles to sell. The case made headlines worldwide. Skeptics believe the myth began during colonial times, when outsiders, conquistadors, priests, and foreign miners exploited native people and their land. To this day, some Andean villagers refuse foreign food aid, fearing it's a trap to fatten them up. Even modern TV has revived the legend in Supernatural. The Pishtacos appear as monsters disguised as humans, feeding on victims under the guise of a weight-loss retreat. Next, the Kishi, the demon with a man's face in front and a hyena's face behind. Number 5, the Kishi. From the scorching mesa dunes comes a two-faced, horrifying creature, the Kishi. At first glance, they appear human, charming, intelligent, even seductive. But behind that human face lurks another, the snarling head of a hyena, hidden beneath long hair or ornate scarves. Legend says the Kishi's mind is split in two. The human side is clever and persuasive. The hyena is pure hunger. Each day they fight for control, and when the hyena wins, it devours a human. A Kishi lures its victims through charm and flirtation, leading them away before revealing its secret face. Then the feast begins, the hyena devouring flesh, starting with the face to silence their screams. To survive, a Kishi must feed its beast fresh meat each day. If it goes hungry, madness takes over. Many Kishi trade their magical parts, fur, teeth, or blood, to sorcerers who believe them to hold great power. One ancient fable tells of a Kishi who seduced a maiden and fathered a child. The father and child devoured her alive. In coastal villages, they say the Kishi still walks beneath the moon, practicing its human smile in the reflection of the waves. Next, the vampire, death's most enduring shadow, forever thirsting for the living. Number 6, the vampire. The old vampires were far from today's elegant monsters. They were bloated, dark, and reeking of decay. At night, they clawed their way out of graves. Villagers found holes, proof that the dead had risen again. We find the vampire's roots in ancient myths. The Hebrew Lilith was the first blood drinker that hunted infants and mothers. The Greeks told of Ambrogio, a mortal cursed by Apollo and blessed with immortality by Artemis, whose thirst for blood became eternal love's punishment. Centuries later, literature transformed these horrors into legends. John Polidori's The Vampire and Bram Stoker's Dracula gave the creature a new seductive face. In the 17th and 18th century Europe, real exhumations took place. It was believed that the peasants like Peter Plagojewicz and Arnold Pauli had risen from the grave. Their corpses were staked, beheaded, and burnt. There have been real historical figures like Vlad the Impaler, whose cruelty inspired Dracula, and Countess Elizabeth Bathory, who bathed in blood to preserve her youth. Skeptics, however, remain unconvinced. They say diseases like porphyria, with its sunlight sensitivity and pale skin, birthed the myth. And that wraps up today's story. If you like this dive into ancient legends, hit like, subscribe, and check out our other videos. They're just as eerie and unforgettable. Until next time.